know why, but I was always drawn towards home decor and furniture because whenever you get a project, it's like a free brief that you're getting that you can design whatever you want. I think I started working when I was 21. I got a job earlier. So when I started working, I was working late with the same salary, and that's where I realized that maybe if I can, put this much of effort in my own thing, I will progress more.
Welcome back to another episode of Entrepreneurial powered by Bhavan's ED Cell. This is Srihitha along with Abhijay, your host for today's podcast. Get ready to dive into a world where creativity meets elegance. Let's welcome the Sundar Sushil Mehnati founder of Chokhat, Ms. Prachi Bhatia, the extraordinary solopreneur who redefines the ordinary. With her innovative designs and impeccable taste, she takes decor to a whole new level, turning every space into a mesmerizing work of art. How are you doing, ma'am? And how do you feel
Thank
about
you.
being on a podcast inspiring young minds?
Thank you so much for having me, Shweta. I think when I received your message, I was really happy to be able to talk to people, college students mostly, because I believe when I was in college, I missed out on a lot of opportunities, and that was all because I did not have that kind of exposure that people nowadays have. I feel like when I talk about it, कि मैं पता नहीं कौन से ज़माने की हूँ, but then when I entered college, WhatsApp was just introduced. So these Zoom calls and video calls, ये तो बहुत बाद में आया है. So because of that, I think the exposure was very restricted. But I'm more than happy to be here and try to encourage or inspire few students who can begin their own journey into the business and this field. So thank you so much.
That's really inspiring, ma'am, and we are also happy to have you here as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So, ma'am, your journey as a solopreneur in home decor industry is truly inspiring. Could you share what initially drew you to this field and what ignited your passion towards creating remarkable spaces?
See, honestly, I was into design and craft and paintings, since my childhood. And when after 12th, you have to actually choose what kind of field do you want to get into. So at that point of time, there were a lot of things going on that you can enter into a product design, accessory design, NIFT, and all of that things were going on. So, like any other student, I applied to multiple colleges, considering painting also as one field, applied arts and paintings, and also this design world. And I got into design world through whatever college I entered. And then after entering the college, it was a 4-year-old course, and I don't know why, but I was always drawn towards home decor and furniture because whenever you get a project, it's like a free brief that you're getting that you can design whatever you want. Some projects were like that, and I realized that whenever I'm sitting and sketching some sort of home decor and furniture only, I'm able to sketch, and that creativity was coming in that particular field. I tried working on footwears and bags and everything. As college, they teach you everything, all sort of materials, all sort of fields, but home decor was something I was always happy, and I was able to put more efforts to it. And then I did my internships accordingly in similar fields, and that's how I decided that this is what I want to do. This is where my mind works. So yes.
Realizing that, I think it's one of the best things that you can do at that age, because honestly all of us are so confused because we have so many options lying around.
Right.
And one day we want to become an entrepreneur, one day we're like, no, just gonna work, one day I want to become a musician. So that's so much confusion. So I find it amazing that you actually found something
That
so
confusion
important.
happens everywhere. In fact, being into this product industry, I was drawn to lighting at some point of time. I was drawn to because I like shopping bags. Maybe I can become a bag designer. So I went into that. So that mind goes everywhere because at that point of age, this is how it happens. Your mind is everywhere. But then it's like a circle. So I started with home decor, then bag, then this, that. That ended up in home decor only. So I realized that now this is what I want to do.
Definitely, ma'am. That is very unique actually, because in a country like India, where commerce and science are given more utmost importance, ma'am, but
Right.
you chose something different like product designing. So
Right.
that's actually very unique, and that was definitely a turning point to all of us as well who listen.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It is tough, yes. In the country of doctors and engineers,
Yeah,
it is
just the
difficult to
science
be a
students.
designer. I can
Yeah,
relate
yeah.
to it. Right,
Ma, so we also noticed on your profile that you come from a very humble background. You
right,
worked in corporate for a while and you had a very well-paying job as well.
right.
So what made you take such a huge step that you actually quit your job, such a well-paying job, and just start right from scratch?
Honestly, Shrita, there was no plan like anybody else. I come from a service background, so I had
Okay.
zero knowledge about doing business. And plus, when you come from a service background, you have this fear in mind कि यार सर्विस है इसमें एटलीस्ट एक तारीख को सैलरी तो आएगी बिजनेस में तो पता ही नहीं क्या होगा सो आई हैव बीन ब्रॉट अप लाइक दैट ओनली ऑल माई चाइल्डहुड ऑल माई कॉलेज days were like that but after I entered my first job I realized that I have worked more than 18 hours in a day on the
Oh
same
my.
salary. There are no, extra pays for extra hours that you're working in India.
Hmm.
So then, after working there for, I think I started working when I was 21. I got a job earlier. So when I started working, I was working late with the same salary, and that's where I realized that maybe if I can, put this much of effort in my own thing, I will progress more or I will earn more. So that was a slight, I would say, entrepreneurship का कीड़ा that दिमाग में बस बैठा था. But I
Huh.
knew my reality because as a product designer, as a home decor or a furniture business, you need a lot of funds to start. You cannot just simply
Yes,
go out there
yes.
करते हैं.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So but I started thinking towards it. Okay, so I took an year. I worked in an export house. Then I took up another job, which was in an MNC. By then, I was sure that someday in my life I will start. Maybe after
Okay.
4 5 वो एकदम generic होता है ना 4 5 साल कमाओ पैसा इकट्ठे करो फिर करो
Huh.
Yeah.
तो वही mindset था. But then
Huh.
after working another year in a buying house where I was earning pretty well, I switched to a third job
Okay.
as a senior furniture designer in one of the other companies, like a very small startup kind of a company. But that eventually turned out to be a fake company, or I don't know what. I had to quit
Oh.
on second day because it was
Oh.
like
Oh.
the second day I cannot go because it was weird. It was weird. The situation there was weird, or they were all female employees. There was no single male employee. The washrooms are broken, and it was weird. So then I came back. I cried a lot because
Oh.
ये बहुत फिल्मी साउंड करता है but this actually happens that you have that aha moment. We call it aha moment in the business world that you get that.
Yeah.
So I still remember I was sitting on the table. My boss called me on that fake company thing, and I couldn't really get up. I was like, maybe this is the time, maybe this is the time, because by that time I had an idea about कि मुझे क्या करना है life में, what kind of business का name will be there, company, all of that. So I thought that maybe it is the right time. So I came back home. I cried a lot, a lot, a lot, and a lot because I was jobless, and this jobless word was scary because I got a job before graduating. So I never
Yeah.
felt how that actually feels like when you don't have a job. Plus I know that I need to feed my I need to have my family in place. My finances matters to them. I need
Of
to take care
course.
of them. So
Yes.
then my family supported. My sister was a great support. My elder sister, she said that I
Oh.
will take
That's
care of the
amazing.
finances. To tension mat le, you start. My mother has
Wow.
been a great support. My mother was skeptical कि बेटा पैसे भी नहीं हैं, कुछ एक्सपीरियंस भी नहीं है, सिर्फ 2 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है, हाउ विल यू डू इट, देख ले. बट देन she had her own doubts in mind, but on the outside, once I started, she was a great support. Like मेरे साथ packing करना, मेरे साथ vendors के पास जाना, everything. She was a great support. So that's how I started, and along with that, I started working as a freelance graphic designer because
Yes, yes, we
Oh.
did
I
observe
need
that.
I need funds to run
Huh.
Chokhat.
Yeah.
So I gave myself a deadline of 2 years that अगर 2 साल में कुछ नहीं कर पाए, so I'll get back to job. But luckily, I was able to do it.
Indeed.
It all worked out.
It
And
all
Indeed.
we are
worked
here.
out. It all worked
Everything
out.
has worked out so well, ma'am. And
Yes.
difficulties after difficulties is only success, ma'am. So you have
Yes.
proved that
Yes.
again. So let's go to the solopreneur journey, ma'am.
Yes.
Like you're a solopreneur and you have to do everything by your own. So does it get overwhelming at times? Because
It
you are the
does.
backbone of your health. You are the backbone of your brand, actually.
I
So how does it
know.
feel?
See, very frankly, after 4 5 years of doing this business, solopreneurship is not good. Okay, if you are a solopreneur for initial some years, it works, but after 4 or 5 years, you need to have a team because if you are still not having a team, means कुछ तो गलत कर रहे हो. Because the kind of brand or the kind of business you want to build up अकेले नहीं कर सकते. For example, right now I have reached a level, मतलब in a very blunt language I'll say, जिसको मैं इस business को मैं जहाँ तक ला सकती थी अकेले, I've got it. Now इसके आगे जाने के लिए I need a team. इसके आगे मैं इसको
Yes.
अकेले लेके नहीं जा सकती. So being a solopreneur has been tough, but it is not good after 4 or 5 years. Initial years, you should be a solopreneur. This is what I recommend, because if you ask me, I know in and outs of my business, everything from a
Yes, yes, that's
small,
very important.
let's say, a product, how is this made, why it is being made, why the product has this packaging, or anything, be it GST related, be it anything accounts related, production, manufacturing, packing, social media, ads. So I know every bit of it. So I have seen people who have just initially they have spent money, टीम खड़ी कर ली, and अगर आप उनसे जाके फाउंडर से पूछोगे कि ये क्यों हो रहा है, she'll be like, wait, I'll have to check with the person.
Exactly.
So
Yeah. But you know
I
everything
feel
here.
I don't have to do that because I know everything, whatever it has taken to build. You know, now going ahead, I need a team. अब इसके आगे मैं नहीं कर सकती हूँ. Solopreneurship is good. You should do it for 2 3 years, whatever. There's no there's no पत्थर का लकीर कि 3 साल करो उसके बाद मत करो. Like I have been into this 4.5 years, I think. Now we are planning to take up people this year. Hopefully I will be able to
Okay.
build a team of 2 or 3 people. So yes, it is important, but after some point it is not good.
I even think it prepares a proper foundation when you're a solopreneur, where you actually
Yes.
figure out everything by yourself.
Yes.
And even on the days when you fail, I
Right.
think it's maybe sometimes it gives you the motivation to actually get back that one thing that no, मैंने ये किया है, मैंने शुरू किया है खुद के दम पे. So
It is difficult, trust me, Srihitha, because I know ये ना this is बहुत फैंटिसाइज किया हुआ है entrepreneurship को, live your life on your own terms and this and
Yeah.
that, and it is not how that works. There have been days when I know sales are not happening, or there has been some production issues, and you get overwhelming and you don't want to come to office, the same office जो आपने बनाया है, ये मैंने बनाया है, but मुझे नहीं मन करता यहाँ पे आने का. There are days when I don't want to get up also, कि यार नहीं जाना, क्यों, why. So this is the reality of it. But इतना ज़्यादा उसको fantasize कर दिया है entrepreneurship को. Oh my God, you live your own dreams, live what you love, what will. No, it is not as fancy as it looks. It is difficult, but you have to have your patience, because जो आप चाह रहे हो वो होगा. But the interesting part is you never know कब होगा. 2 साल, 5 साल, 10
very
साल, 15
uncertain.
साल. That's not certain. That is the best and the worst part of it.
Very true, ma'am, actually. The point that entrepreneurship is not about only glamour. It's
Exactly.
sometimes about hard work
Glamour,
as
I
well.
think glamour comes after 10 or 15 years. उससे पहले where is the glamour? Like I have been coming to my office initial year, मैं आके झाड़ू भी लगाती हूँ अपने ऑफिस में. There have been times when I had no help. Where is the glamour? I used to think कि यार मैं तैयार होके जाऊँ because वहाँ जाके तो झाड़ू लगानी. So I used to wear गंदे कपड़े also because मुझे पता है कि वहाँ जाके I have to clean up everything. Then my so then I used to change my clothes, make reels or whatever. So there is no glamour in initial 5 or 6 years. This glamour only is there on social media. That's all.
Yeah,
Reality
that's
is
only a myth, ma'am.
yes, that's a myth. There's no glamour.
Mom, talking about the challenging parts, it also is a very notable point that you're a female entrepreneur. And after crossing all these hurdles, it's a matter of pride that you were featured as one of the top 50 Indian women icons in 2022. So it's a great example to many female aspiring entrepreneurs. What challenges have you faced specifically along your journey, and how did you overcome them?
In terms of issues that I have faced a lot of things. I think you don't really face big issues, but you also face daily, usual day to day small issues. For example, being if you ask me about, like, I am not a person who compare myself to a man or a female. I consider myself as an entrepreneur. I'm not a female entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Very true.
So the thing is, but yes, once you enter into an industry, my industry is full of it's a male dominant industry. There are laborers who are males. You hardly get to see females. I have been to places, let's say an industrial area, where I was literally looking कि मुझे कोई एक औरत तो दिखे, नहीं दिख रही. I was literally on a main road in this is a place in Delhi only, the industrial area. So I entered, भरा हुआ है पूरा, भीड़ है, but I can't see a single woman. एंड मेरी नजर लिटरली ढूंढ रही थी कि मुझे कोई तो औरत दिखे. सो वो होता है. दैट्स वेयर यू आई वुड से यू नीड टू कीप दैट पेशेंस एंड वो करेज थोड़ा सा रखना पड़ता है. सो इन टर्म्स ऑफ चैलेंजेस, one was funds majorly, okay,
Yeah.
because पैसे नहीं थे. I don't know how people have इतना ज़्यादा 50-60 लाख 70 लाख 1 करोड़ का इन्वेस्टमेंट एंड दे स्टार्ट, बिकॉज आई स्टार्टेड विद 1 लाख, जो कब खत्म हो गए इनिशियल 1 मंथ में मुझे पता नहीं चला, बिकॉज आई गॉट वेबसाइट डन, आई गॉट थोड़ा सा प्रोडक्शन डन एंड देन पैसे खत्म. So एक one was majorly was funds. The other was
Okay.
getting people to believe in you. You know, because I was 23 when I started this business, and 23, and I was dealing with people who have 23 years of experience,
Oh
and
my
my age is
God.
23. तो वो मुझे क्या ही समझेंगे कि ये आ गई है लड़की, इससे कुछ होगा नहीं होगा पता नहीं. तो यू नो दैट काइंड ऑफ एटीट्यूड यू हैव टू फेस, बट आई थिंक दैट अ मैन आल्सो हैज टू फेस. कोई 23 साल का कॉलेज का लड़का भी अगर जाएगा, ही विल फेस द सेम थिंग
हाँ.
कि ये लड़का आ गया कल से हमें सिखा रहा है,
Right.
यू नो दैट काइंड ऑफ एटीट्यूड.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was one thing, and eventually see how do you overcome. Eventually you understand, आप कर लेते हो. There is no set of particular path जो आप follow करोगे तो you'll achieve it. It's your journey. Somehow you figure out nice people, you get few good people. जिनसे नहीं बन रही है उनसे नहीं बन रही है, जहाँ मना सकते हो वहाँ मना लो. So it's different for all the people, but I think it's same. ये हर किसी को face करना पड़ता है. So one was this. The other was marketing, of course, because website बना ली, product बन गया, marketing तो आती नहीं है, marketing के लिए पैसे भी नहीं है. How will I do it? So that's when I started learning how to run Facebook and Instagram ads via YouTube. And I started with, I still remember, 40 rupees per day, because उससे नीचे Facebook वाले जाने नहीं दे रहे थे. अगर वो मुझे 20 रुपीज बोलते शायद मैं 20 से भी स्टार्ट करती, बट 40 was the minimum. I think today it's around 80 or 90 is the minimum. So 40 at that point was minimum. So I started with that, and I started realizing that मेरा मार्केट कहाँ पर है, because I was very raw. मैंने कुछ प्लानिंग से स्टार्ट नहीं किया था. It was all accidental startup. Okay.
Okay.
So जो मैंने जो भी सीखा, it was along the journey. The major problem is कि आपके अकाउंट में एक पॉइंट पे सैलरी आ रही थी और अभी सब जा रही है. So उस सैलरी से फिर जीरो अपने अकाउंट में देखना, एंड इट्स पार्ट ऑफ ऑल ऑफ इट, बिकॉज मेजरली आपको मोटिवेशन रखना इज इम्पोर्टेंट, और सबसे ज्यादा वही डिफिकल्ट होता है. यू कांट कीप अप विद व्हाट यू स्टार्टेड, बिकॉज यू आर नॉट श्योर. लाइक आई सेड, यू नेवर नो कि वो जो ग्लैमरस पीरियड आएगा आएगा नहीं आएगा, कब आएगा. सो कब के इंतजार में आप काम कर रहे हो. सो दैट्स अ मेजर चैलेंज, टू कीप योरसेल्फ अप एंड रनिंग एंड नॉट टू क्विट. बाकी सब तो हो जाता है.
Yes, ma'am. And I really agree with you on that point that everybody has their own journey, and because we planned तरीके से नहीं होता, because everything is
Exactly.
uncertain in this industry. And in a male-dominated industry, like you mentioned, in the service sector, there are not many females
Right.
working.
Right.
So, do you have any piece of advice for aspiring female entrepreneurs who are looking to start their own ventures in today's competitive landscape?
See, I think as a piece of advice, I will say कि start करो यार, don't think about it, because I have seen that people have this kind of mindset that मेरे पास पहले resources आ जाए, पहले मैं planning कर लूँ, फिर पहले पैसे आ जाए, फिर you know they keep on counting the resources.
हाँ.
You that will never be enough, because अगर आपने ये 4 चीजें इकट्ठी भी कर ली हैं, you will not know कि करना क्या है. You know, so I was just take, if you have this thing in mind, do not keep any regrets. अगर आपके mind में ये हल्का सा कीड़ा घुसा हुआ है, just take calculated risk. ऐसा नहीं सब कुछ छोड़ के बैठ जाओ और बिल्कुल कुछ, you know, that's I believe people do it, people succeed also, but I feel that's not the right way to do it.
Yeah.
Take calculated risks, and also